Hello, everyone. You know me, Donnée Patrese, and I know that I've been talking about my books and the things that I want to talk about, like the new book that's coming out in November, so next month. But before I do all of that, I also want to talk about like just things that I'm interested in. I'm going to get into that because I want you guys to get to know me as a writer, as a person, and the things that interest me. Because, like I said, I'm an avid reader as well, and I love books. I've always loved books, and I still do. So, I want to get started by introducing you to the things that I've been reading and the things that I love to read. So, most people assume, and I used to a lot, but they assume because I write erotic romance that I read a lot of erotic romance. But I used to. I used to read a lot of erotic romance books. And I used to read a little bit of murder mystery books, things like that. Books that had some mystery in them. So I read a lot of Zane. And I read a lot of Dan Brown. And I still love Dan Brown. I still read a ton of his books. Any book that comes out with Robert Langdon, I'm totally there. And the movies. I definitely go see the movies. And I think the last Dan Brown book I read was Origin. If you have not read that book, go pick it up. Or if you have not read the Dan Brown, Robert Langdon series, I recommend that. And that would be like the Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, The Lost Symbol, Inferno, and like I said, Origin. So I read that. That's the fiction that I read. But I don't read a lot of fiction. People assume that I read tons of fiction because I write it. But I spend so much time in my imagination writing books that I don't read a lot of fiction. Crazy enough. I read a lot of nonfiction books. And lately that has been self-help books. And I say self-help, but they're probably in different genres. Maybe not all self-help, but a little bit of spirituality and things like that. So I'm going to show you some of the books that I'm going to show you the books that I've read. I'm going to show you the books that I want to read that already in my collection, and I'm going to also show you what I'm working on. So let's get started with the books that I've read already. I have 3 here, and the first one is by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called No Mud, No Lotus. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh, he passed away, I believe the beginning of this year or the end of last year. I can't remember, but he is a Zen Buddhist monk. And if you don't know, I've been studying Buddhism for about 4 years now. So that's one thing about me as an author. As a person, I've been studying Buddhism for 4 years. And I've been reading a lot of Buddhist books, Buddhist texts, and this is one that I really enjoy because, and I say this all the time, no mud, no lotus. And what that means to me is that if you don't have any suffering, you don't get the good out of life. Everyone suffers, but it's not permanent. But I don't want to get into, Buddhist philosophy and spirituality, but that's pretty much what that means. And so I've read this book, and it's not a very big book, but as you can see, even with it not being a big book, I have my I have a lot of things, like you can see just in the book. I have a lot of things marked off. Because it was very inspirational to me. And the next book I'm going to show you is by Tara Brach, and it's called Radical Acceptance. And I read this book, and this one is also, she is also Buddhist, and this one was more about compassion. And it was really good. It was a really excellent book. And it's all about self-compassion, accepting yourself, and it's using Buddhist philosophy to teach you how to do that. And then I love me some Brene Brown. I definitely love me some Brene Brown. And I wanted to I've read all of her books, but this one, The Gifts of Imperfection, to me, it goes right along with radical acceptance. Like, just being able to being imperfect, and having compassion for that, I think is basically what all three of these books have in common. And I love to read them and be inspired by them. So those are the books that I have read. Not all of the books that I've read, but the ones that have I've read recently and that have touched me a lot. Now, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. And recently I had been feeling a little stuck in my writing, in life. I was feeling like I was in a rut and I couldn't get out of it. And just feeling like I needed something different. And I was looking for some books and I came across this book, and it's called Master Your Motivation, because I felt like I didn't have any motivation to do anything. And so I was looking for a book to help me get the tools to learn how to motivate myself. And so I found this book called Master Your Motivation. I'm going to put it up here just in case you want to purchase it. I'm not endorsing anything. Any of these books that I'm showing you, I'm not endorsing them. I'm just telling you what I enjoyed and what I'm doing, what I'm reading. And so this one I'm currently working on. So I have like a little bookmark here. I'm currently working on this one. But it's Master Your Motivation. And I started reading it because I felt like I needed to be motivated. So far I'm enjoying it. It has, if you wanted to read it, it has a workbook that goes with it. And I have been working in the workbook. I have been answering the questions right along with reading. And that's probably why it's taking me a little longer to read it, because it's kind of like school. You're reading the text and you're working in the workbook. So it's taking me a little bit longer to complete the book, because it's not a big book. It's not thick at all, but it's taking me a little longer to complete because you have to work in the workbook. But one of the things that this book has showed me is that I needed to declutter my mind, my space, the things around me. So I know you've probably seen some of my shorts, some of my things talk about getting rid of books, getting rid of things. That's what my plan is, to just basically try to get rid of some of the things that I have been holding on to. So, because I say if you declutter your mind, declutter your space, you can declutter your mind, and that will make it clear for you to be motivated. So that's what I'm working on currently. And now I'm going to show you the books that I want to read and that I'm eager to open up and dive right into. The first one is The Essence of Buddha. I really want to get into this book. It talks about the story of the Buddha, the Eightfold Path, which I already know about, but it talks about that. The 6 paramitas, the void, the law of causality, the path to enlightenment. And it also talks about just different things, but it's something that I can't wait to jump right into and read. This one I was supposed to read this a long time ago, but I got so caught up in reading a lot of my Buddhist texts and other things, and mastering your motivation, that I didn't get a chance to read it. And it's not a thick book either, but I have been wanting to read this for a while. So I'm definitely going to read it. And this one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a You Know What. So I am going to read this book. And I just found out that this book also comes with a journal. And I love journaling. I definitely love journaling. As you can see, I bought the workbook that comes with the Master Your Motivation. And so I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I waited because there's now a journal. So I can journal with this one. And last but not least, I love so far the Master Your Motivation so much that I now have Master Your Beliefs. And that goes with the Essence of Buddha. Because I want to master my beliefs, my values, my spirituality, and get that all in tuned. And this type of thing helps me with my writing, helps me with everything that goes on in my life, because I'm a whole person. I'm an author, I'm a blogger, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a speaker, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, and I'm a friend. And I am a whole person. And so all these books are aimed at that, helping me be a whole, complete person. So I hope you enjoy this video about the things that I'm reading. If you are interested in any of these books, or if you want me to tell you like the ones I've already read, if you want me to tell you like what I thought of them, just put it in the comments. If you want me to like give you an update on like this one, or either one of these, just put it in the comments and I will. Okay, so like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe to this channel. And we'll get back into some more of my books, some more about me, and hopefully some more about you. So just send me those questions in the comments and I'll answer them. And make sure you subscribe and share. See you next time.